Welcome, my name is Francisco, and for the next hour, we will be going over 29 tips for online course development. Now, at the end of this module, you should be learning the following outcomes. Just kidding. In this video, we will briefly cover areas that are essential for development and delivery of high-quality online courses. Now let me introduce you to Debbie.
Developing a successful online course is a complex undertaking. At TELC, our goal is to work with you to create an online course specific to the needs of your content and your students. It is also a lot of work. Multiple faculty members have noted that the course development process took a lot of time. When asked about advice for new online teachers, one professor indicated plan, 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 and I couldn't agree more. Educational research and our experience agree about the importance of faculty spending a lot of time planning. This process will also give you a new perspective on your classroom course. So, what are the major components of your high-quality online course? Course content, including learning activities, organization and clarity of those materials, feedback, communicating with students, social interaction and discussion of content. Now let's take a brief look at each component.
What types of content are appropriate for an online course? Naturally, you want to cover as much of the same course content, and students must achieve the same learning outcomes as in the face-to-face class. But students must learn the material in different ways since they'll be separated from faculty and other students by time and space. If using lecture videos, videos are shorter than traditional lectures and should highlight core content. Emphasizing content that students traditionally have had problems with is an effective way to use short lectures. Activities where students actively learn the content have proven to be effective in online learning. Activities such as discussion board questions, case studies, problem sets, quizzes, self-assessments, and collaborative tasks help students engage and aid in their comprehension of the content.
Now let's listen to some feedback from students who have taken online courses.
So the teacher providing more content outside of just the textbook, because I've had a couple of classes where it was just read the textbook and then you're on your own taking the tests, and that's really not very conducive to learning.
How do online courses effectively organize and structure their content and activities? A poorly designed online course can leave students confused and frustrated, which can impede learning. Your TELC instructional designer will assist you in structuring your course materials to have a high level of usability. In the context of online learning, usability refers to the ease in which students interact with online materials. The course content and activities are easy to locate, navigate, and engage with. In addition, it's important that faculty write clear directions for all activities that specify your expectations for the assignments. This will save you time, your students time during the course, and ease possible frustrations. Directions for similar assignments in the traditional classroom may seem sufficient, but it's easy to forget the 5-minute discussion and some Q&A that you had in class about that assignment. So here's some things you may want to ask yourself. What did you say when you explained the assignment? What questions do the students usually ask? And then add those to the directions. And for more complicated projects, you may not have TELC record a video of you explaining the assignment in more detail.
My expectations for the organization and structure of an online course is to have everything generally outlined within the course syllabus. At least then I have a better understanding and can go back to what needs to get done at a certain time.
I like it to be well spaced out, and I like the deadlines and timeline to be there from the beginning of the course.
Clear instructions on assignment, that really matters. Knowing exactly what I need to do for that assignment is very, very important.
So instructor feedback. Instructor feedback has been a major element of a student's academic development in online education. Online students especially need timely, constructive, and supportive feedback. So what do we mean by supportive feedback? It supports both the student and their learning process. It offers the student opportunities to reflect on their own work, provides the student with opportunities to develop their knowledge and skills. So you'll also be communicating with your class in a positive way to motivate them to do well in the course. Communication can be through individual or group emails, open discussion, Skype conferencing, or even one-on-one phone conversations. We encourage instructors to send out an email to the class at the start of every week explaining the content being discussed, activities, and timelines. We also recommend sending individual emails to those students who have fallen behind or received a poor grade to see if they need any additional assistance. It can be a bit lonely for a student taking an online class. So when students know their instructor is available to communicate with them, they will not only be greatly appreciative, but it will ensure that they have a positive learning experience.
Instructor feedback to me is an absolute importance because what it allows for me is to understand what I didn't understand the first time and allows me to get it right the next time.
I think it's very important for an instructor to provide feedback to you on your homework, quizzes, exams, to know exactly where your strong points are, where your weak points are. It's still a class and you're still paying for it, so I would still expect for a teacher to be very helpful.
I would say instructor feedback is very important because if you do a question online and there's no feedback to what you did right or wrong, it's just a check mark or something like that, there's no way that you're going to be able to learn anything, like actually learn anything. Then you're just taking a test online. It's not a instruction course.
What are some of the qualities of a discussion board in an excellent online course? Despite some differences, discussion boards have many of the same qualities as a traditional classroom discussion. An advantage of online discussion is that students have time to reflect, research, and edit their answers before participating. The main goal of the discussion board is for students to learn the course material as they engage in dialogue with faculty and other students. Michael Moore, not that Michael Moore, but the noted distance education researcher, he defines dialogue as purposeful, constructive, and valued by active participants who contribute and build on the ideas of their teachers and fellow students. He notes, the direction of a dialogue in an educational relationship is towards the improved understanding of the student. We recommend that your discussion board questions, that they allow each student to have a different answer to the question, to build on the course content, and to encourage reflection and critical thinking. The content of some courses lend themselves better to discussion than others. For instance, a Philosophy 100 course would probably be better suited for more online discussions than an introductory accounting course. We also recommend making yourself visible in the discussion board and participating regularly. Your posts should model how you expect students to post their responses. Also, students are more likely to engage in discussion if they see that their teacher is participating in the discussion board. And you can really get to know your students in the discussion board and connect with them. This will make students feel like part of a learning community and help with motivation and retention.
I think that that's really the most important element of that, because if we need to have interaction with each other and interaction with the professors. And the discussion is key to making sure that that we're getting the most out of our class. Just like any other classroom setting, though, I'm in some classes now where nobody speaks in the class. There's like 3 of us who raise our hand and contribute, and it can be the same thing in an online course. But I actually find that sometimes in my online classes, we actually have more participation because it's mandatory participation. They actually get graded on their discussion. So I think sometimes even gain more from an online class because of that reason.
When developing and facilitating your online course, please keep these primary elements in mind. If you ever have any questions or concerns, our team at TELC will be happy to discuss potential solutions with you. We look forward to working with you to create your high-quality online course. Thank you, and reach higher.